Yassas, Kalispera. Good afternoon. This is the lovely island of Tinos. And this is Greek island number 50 for me. Pretty amazing. So today is May 8th, 2024. It is currently 74 degrees Fahrenheit. That is 23 degrees Celsius. Just a perfect, pleasantly warm, sunny day, and that water is starting to look more and more inviting. Not the cleanest here, never at the port, but still it is looking very clear, and I'm sure is still quite cold, but it will be warming up. The summer is just around the corner. So this is the main town on the island called Tinos Town, or Hora. Hora is a common name for Greek island towns. Somebody commented that it actually means country, literally, which is a little confusing, but it is what it is. So I am walking over to my rental car to get going and see more of the island, but I wanted to show a bit more of the town, and in the process I am going to tell a kind of random short little story from just yesterday, which is actually about my rental car. So I rented the car in Athens just over a week ago, $43 a day, good deal, with a Sixt rent-a-car. So picked it up at the airport, and I had it reserved for 1 week. And then traveled from there to Evia Island, and then Andros Island, and then here to Tinos. And I realized that I was going to be keeping it for longer than a week. I'm going to walk up that way, but first wanted to show the main church. Not that there, but right around the corner here. At the end of this road. I showed it in a video from a couple of days ago. Really beautiful church, and when I went there before, there was a ceremony going on that might have been part of the Easter celebrations. Ooh, cool. A tuk-tuk rickshaw. So, I realized that I was going to be keeping the car for more than a week, and once I got my plans nailed down, booking my ferry back to Rafina on the mainland, which is tomorrow, my ferry, then I needed to get in touch with the rental car company and add 2 more days. And so I was trying to call them over the course of 2 days, and nobody was answering, I guess because of the Easter holiday, or I don't know what, but seems kind of a little odd that they would be completely gone from the airport office for 2 full days. But anyways, I literally tried like 20 times and no luck getting in touch with them. So last night I had kind of given up and figured they'll get back to me at some point. And so I came down here to have dinner, and good timing. Right here is where I had dinner last night. A gyro pita and a Greek salad and some white wine. And then I leave there and walk back to my hotel, which is right up here. And just as I'm stepping into the elevator at the hotel, then my phone rings, and I had a hunch this is probably the rental car company. And sure enough, so I answer the phone and say, good to hear from you. And this is at like almost 10 p.m. And I explained, well, I'd been trying to get in touch for the past 2 days and nobody was answering the phone because I want the car for another couple of days. And she says, okay, great, that's no problem, but that isn't why I'm calling. I'm calling because you need to move your car. And you'll see what I mean in just a second. And so that's kind of a remarkable, series of events to transpire that she was actually able to get in touch with me. So I guess a garbage truck had come along, and where I had parked, then I had made sure that there was room for people to pass, and there was no indication that I wasn't allowed to park there. But then this garbage truck came along and couldn't get through apparently. And so using the license plate, they were able to get in touch with the car company, and they had my phone number, were able to call me, and then I was able to just walk over there in a couple of minutes. Now when I arrived, then luckily the car was still there. I was concerned maybe they just decided to tow it. And there was no garbage truck or anyone around, so I guess they got through or turned around and went another way or who knows what. But I moved the car, so hopefully that makes it more likely that it will in fact still be there today. Should be just around the corner up here. And boom, the gray one. So you can see narrow street here, and guess where I was parked? I was parked right where that car is parked. However, I was not up on the curb. So I'd parked it, and then I'd actually parked here previously as well. But then, no problems then, so I thought it's fine. And you can see there's a no parking in front of this door, but not, right there. And so I parked right up next to the curb and then actually waited for a car to come by just to make sure, and there seemed to be plenty of room. So that's what happened. They got in touch with me. I came down here, moved it over there, and it's just kind of random when it comes to parking because it can be a little hard to tell what is allowed and what isn't. All right, let's do it. Time to get rolling, and we'll see much more of this lovely Greek island. Absolutely one of my favorite Greek islands that I've been to in my 50 Greek islands. It is like right up there at the top. It's always hard to say, well, this one is my favorite island, but this one is a strong contender. All right, let's go see it. And so my first random detour of the day. I hadn't heard about these villages. Here you have Kitikados, and I guess that is Chatsourados. Love those names. Just saw it from the road and it looked intriguing. Going to poke around for a minute or two. Looks like the usual stuff. Blue and white, Greek churches, quiet village. Maybe see a few cats, perhaps a human or two, and old ruins, which is actually what I'm a little more interested in, and seeing the views from the top of that hill. Church, 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 church. I have asked in previous videos what is going on with all of the Greek churches. Why are there so many, and why are so many of them in such random places? Now here, these are all in a village, although it's pretty much a village of churches. But as I have shown again and again, then they are also very often in totally out of the way places in which it makes not a lot of sense to try to get there on a Sunday for a worship service, especially if you are a not young and sprightly person. Then having to get up some mountain, down some trail, and on a lot of the Greek islands, then there aren't a lot of young people. It is kind of mostly older people. And so it doesn't necessarily make sense, but obviously somehow it does. Locked. I have never opened a door of a Greek church and discovered a person inside. I have seen evidence of people, basically just candles still lit. I would definitely feel a little awkward about opening the door and somebody sitting there worshiping, but not the end of the world either. So this, I presume, is another one of the dovecotes that I showed in my previous video. So they're made for doves and pigeons to live in. Now I'm not 100% certain on this one. It doesn't have the same bizarre designs that we were seeing yesterday. So perhaps this is actually something else. But all over Tinos here, then you see all of these dovecotes, these buildings constructed for doves and pigeons to live in. And the reason for that is that they used, number one, the guano for fertilizer for their crops, and then I guess also they collected the feathers and maybe even for meat, eating them. That's what I read online. So it was an important part of their survival in the old days. Maybe that one is the remnants of a windmill. That thing on top looks like it could have been something that turned. All right, let's get up there and see the views looking out over the Aegean Sea here and try to figure out what some of the islands we'll be seeing are. There's a goat standing on the very top of that thing and more goats around it. They skedaddled when they saw me coming, but the goat was standing right up on top of that. So, looks like sort of castle ruins. Huh, tiny little space there. Or just village homes, I guess. Not big castle structures. All right, and a nice view of the Mediterranean. The Aegean Sea here, part of the Mediterranean. Lots of various names for different parts of the Mediterranean. Ionian, Tyrrhenian, Adriatic. All right, so I didn't bring my phone, and so I'm not certain, but there we have Mykonos. There we have Naxos. There we have Delos, and another island next to it, which I had never heard of before until I looked on my phone once a couple of days ago to try to figure out, and it's called Rinea. You can take day trips to both of those islands. Delos is basically the ruins of an ancient city that I've wanted to see for years, and we'll see, maybe I finally make it there this time. You can do day trips there from Mykonos and maybe also from Tinos here. Nice little spot down there. So I think Naxos, Paros, and then that might be Antiparos right next to Paros. And then that could be Syros. Then Kea and Kithnos are out there, but not exactly certain. What a scene. There you can see randomly placed church, randomly place church, and so I didn't finish my thought about why there are so many and oftentimes in such remote places. Now, I don't know for certain the answer to that. I have asked in previous videos and gotten comments below answering, and there were many different answers. So one is that people will have a church dedicated to their own personal saint that they revere. And then another is apparently they might get a tax write-off. If you have a church on your land, then that puts you in another tax category, something like that, and then it actually saves you money. And then I think a lot of them are just the personal church for a particular household or small group of people. That's why they're so small. Just a handful of people will go there, and maybe not even very often. They've been constructed over the years, the centuries, and probably many of them aren't even active. There again, another one it looks like. Lada. So I took another random detour just because I wanted to see a beach and get closer to the sea. This one turned out to be not the most amazing spot. Little sort of a town there, and not a great beach, but not terrible either. A decent enough spot to get wet. Okay, I haven't touched the water yet. It is about time. Wow, that sand is already hot. Let's get a, yeah, it's feeling pretty chilly, but also nice. It is getting hot enough to get in the water, so we'll see. I brought my swim trunks. We'll see if I'm ready to get wet. So I saw that building from the road and decided I wanted to get over to it. But look at this interesting structure. Definitely looks like an animal enclosure, certainly being used by the goats now. Great spot to get out of the sun. That's it right there. Is it an easy, oh yeah. Okay. It doesn't feel like trespassing when it isn't a well-secured fence. Leave that like that and put it back when I go back through. So I'm not certain yet this is the one that I was trying to get to, but we will find out in 3 seconds. Yes. Another of the dovecotes, but this one wider instead of being a square tower. So you can see doves and pigeons could easily roost in there, and then I guess inside as well. Although hard to tell with this one if it's a pigeon roost inside. Man, I'm just so dying to know when these buildings were built. As I mentioned before in another video, then they're especially intriguing to me because I've been to so many Greek islands, including all the ones near here, except those little ones, Delos and Rhenea, but I've never seen this before. So it seems to be particular to Tinos. Look at this scene. various phases of construction, a bunch of different eras it looks like. The rock walls with holes like doorways or whatever, and then quite old looking church there, and then windmill, and then ruins. Kind of a skanky looking creek here, but it looks like heaven for the fish, the turtles, tons of turtles, and geese. Here at Panormos Bay. And it looks like there's a bus to get around the island. So I believe that is pronounced Stasi. Let me know if I got that wrong. Not a great looking beach, especially today with the seaweed, but a pleasant bay, nice little town. But the water is looking very, very nice and clear and clean here. Catching some teeny tiny little fishies. Lots of fishing going on. A bit of a cool breeze. Not quite feeling the swimming yet, but I am going to go to another beach that should be a nicer beach, and we'll see if I decide to jump in. Tinos Trails. Here is a map of the island. Tinos Town, where I started the video. Shoborgo, the mountain that I climbed on my first day, and then today drove like this, then went to Panormos, and I also want to see Kolompithra. That is supposed to be a nice bay and beach. Very, very tempting to go here to Kumelis, Old Stone Quarry. It's another 20 minutes, so 40 more minutes of driving on these winding roads. I think that I am going to try to keep it to a not too crazy day today. I can go an alternate route to get to Kolompithra Bay, so I think that this will be a very interesting drive. And there is a marble quarry, so Tinos is famous for its marble. And so much more of the island to see. Let's go check out Pyrgos. Alright, not sure what this is, but I think it's a museum. Yes, €3 for both museums. Let's go for it. Looks like this is the Marble Museum. Museum Yannoulis, Chalepas. The artist's house, established in 1970 by the Tinian, so from Tinos, Brotherhood of Athens. Yannoulis Chalepas was born in Pyrgos in 1851. He studied sculpture at the Fine Art School in Athens. In 1873, he continued his studies at the Academy of Munich. So, I'm not sure if that means all of those sculptures were by that one artist. But there's another museum which the guy there said is inside the house, but he has to give me a tour, so he's coming over in a minute. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And the Bofors is gonna be about 7-8
Oh, when? This coming Friday.
on Friday.
I see.
Friday.
I will be on Skiros. I wonder.
You're like
Different.
Don't worry.
Okay.
The problem is if you could go to Athens.
Yeah.
Piraeus.
Yeah. Oh, by ferry. The ferries maybe be a problem.
Ferry is moving.
I'm going by ferry tomorrow, so hopefully it's before the winds. Thank you. Yeah, I guess so.
So this is a house about 200 years old.
Okay.
We found the money from the government. Really? Good. And they're gonna rebuild it. But before to make anything, they discover that the sculpturing of Yannoulis Chalepas can be also John Lennon, eh?
That's the artist there?
Yeah.
Is this house? It's really good.
He had a habit. So he had a habit because his mother, she was really smashing.
Very strict.
Under my thumb, Rolling Stone, you know.
Yeah. And the mat.
So he was painting up into the wall.
Oh.
And then they covered it. So before to make anything about a build, they want to bring X-ray machine to read behind the walls what's happened.
Yeah. Okay. Use modern technology. You can see. I guess it's like sketching.
Yeah, you can see it. You can see it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can see. Okay.
So this is his house. He's living for those times. This house was very archaic for rich people. Why? Because the toilet it is inside of the house. Before 200 years old, 200 years, all the toilets was outside of the houses. But they have money and its sound was a kitchen, laundry, not the machine, yeah, you know.
Yeah. Like the board, the laundry board or something?
Yes, you can see it. So they have some of his planes, some paintings. This one in the photos is this one. And above, if you go to the first cemetery in Athens, it was really excellent, is the art of this thing where he made. This is about a young girl where she died, and very young. And her mother, she said to him, to make it in marble.
This is amazing.
Yeah.
It's so live, you go out of your mind. I mean, incredible.
So this was the family home, like with his parents?
Exactly.
Yeah, okay.
The father was a little bit rich, or not a little bit, he was rich because he was sailing marble. Okay?
Sailing marble?
Yeah, exactly.
Bringing it to different places.
Because they created a Greek church in Alexandria of Egypt, in Scandaria,
Oh, okay.
in Romania,
Yeah.
in Smyrna, also in Greece.
Made from marble, all marble church.
Exactly.
Very interesting.
Necessarily.
1928.
In the 60s, there was a guy in the village We had no real, this is what we had as a water tap.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was empty all the time because you wash a plate and then it's empty.
Yeah.
You have to fill
No
it.
running water. You have to go to the well or something and then fill
this
it up.
was in the 60s. I was born 1964.
Okay.
I remember this. So.
How long did you have that for before you got running water then?
I don't know, because my parents took me to Germany.
Oh,
because
okay.
I was born and raised there.
Yeah.
But I was born there, and then first they brought me to my grandmother, where I stayed until the age of 4, and then they took me back. So I don't know when exactly they got running water.
I see.
But I suppose maybe at the beginning of the 70s,
When you went back home, then they had...
when I went back
improved.
home at the age of 8, I think they had running water.
Okay.
Yeah. For vacation only.
Yeah, okay.
And then I went back to Germany, where I stayed until the age of 18, and then
I see.
we moved back to Greece. Yeah.
Really cute house.
Yeah.
I guess they put the kitchen here because it's cooler down here or something.
Yeah. Yeah. And the gentleman told me that under this floor is another one, the cellar.
Oh, okay.
They kept their pigs, their
Livestock,
animals.
animals.
Yes, their livestock animals. Exactly.
Okay. Oh, there's the fancy inside toilet. The sign of a luxury house on the Greek islands back in the 19th century. Very interesting to see the old Greek islands lifestyle. Look at this, what a beautiful sight, that deep red pink against the white. Another very pretty, quaint village here. Super cute citron here. Meow. Super cute cat here. And here we have Kolumbithra Bay and Beach, a very nice one. But the clouds have converged, it's cooled down, not feeling like jumping in the water today. So I think that what the guy at the museum was saying earlier is that there are strong winds coming on Friday. Today is Wednesday, and it sounded like ferries could be affected. My ferry is tomorrow, so hopefully I luck out and get through, because then my flight is on Friday to Skiros. So this concludes the Tinos adventure. There is still a lot more to explore on Tinos, and it is certainly an island that is filled with much to explore. So we'll see what happens next, but one way or another, lots more coming from Greece. Have a good one. Take it easy. Safe travels.